In a time when the soft glow of dawn revealed a world filled with mystery and promise, a stirring voice echoed across rolling hills and quiet valleys. A voice that would change hearts and light the path for generations to come. Imagine a gentle, loving guide whose words were like beams of light cutting through darkness, inviting every listener to believe in the power of faith and compassion. This ancient narrative, woven through the chapters of Matthew 6 to 10, calls forth images of simple acts of kindness, moments of deep introspection, and miraculous healings that defied all human understanding. As the gentle cadence of these sacred verses unfolds, viewers are invited to journey through teachings that challenge the mind, uplift the soul, and spark the imagination. Have you ever wondered how a few heartfelt words could change the world? Let your heart be open to the timeless message as the story begins. In the teachings of Matthew 6, the message starts with an invitation to give, pray, and fast in a way that touches the deepest part of one's being. Jesus explains that when people give to the needy, they should do so quietly, letting the act be a secret gift to the world rather than a show for applause. The words remind us that true generosity is a treasure stored in the heart, far beyond the fleeting praise of mortals. As the gentle voice recounts these verses, it paints a picture of a humble community where kindness glows softly like morning dew on a leaf. The narrator reflects on the beauty of hidden good deeds and asks, "Can you feel the warmth of giving without expecting anything in return?" Moving deeper into this chapter, the narrative unfolds the prayer that has become a cornerstone of hope for countless souls. The words of the Lord's Prayer, "Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name," are recited with a reverence that stirs the spirit. In simple language, the verses explain that prayer is not a ritual for show, but a heartfelt conversation with a loving parent who listens to every whisper of our hopes and fears. As the listener imagines a sky painted with soft clouds and golden rays, they are invited to consider the power of trusting in a presence greater than oneself. What does it mean to feel protected and guided by divine love? The teaching then gently warns against the temptations of earthly treasures. Jesus invites his followers to look beyond glittering gold and ephemeral pleasures, urging them instead to build their true wealth in the kingdom of heaven. In this part of the story, every word is carefully chosen to inspire a quiet revolution in the heart, a revolution where love, kindness, and integrity outshine material desires. The script elaborates on the symbolism of treasures in heaven, using vivid imagery of radiant light pouring over simple, weathered hands that work tirelessly for the common good. Viewers are prompted to reflect on what treasures they hold dear and how these treasures shape their journey through life. The verses then turn to the gentle yet powerful message of trust. "Do not worry about tomorrow," the voice intones, echoing through valleys and across ancient hills. This call to live in the present is depicted as a soothing balm for troubled hearts, a reminder that every day is a gift and that faith can banish even the darkest of worries. The narrator invites the audience to imagine a world where every moment is embraced with confidence and peace. Can the simple act of trust transform our lives and calm our restless minds? As the narrative flows naturally into the teachings of Matthew 7, the voice shifts to explore the art of judging and the beauty of seeking truth with an open heart. Jesus warns that judgment should be tempered with compassion and self-reflection, urging everyone to look inward before casting stones at others. In this gentle admonition, each word becomes a soft mirror reflecting our own imperfections and the need for kindness. The story invites its listeners to ponder, how can we learn to see the goodness in everyone, even when mistakes are made? The narrative then lifts up the powerful call to ask, seek, and knock. These simple yet profound words spark the imagination, a call to pursue dreams and hidden answers with persistence and faith. As the script describes this invitation, it conjures images of doors opening to sunlit rooms and secret gardens bursting with vibrant life. Every ask is like a key turning in a lock, revealing the mysteries of the universe one step at a time. Have you ever experienced a moment when a simple question unlocked a world of possibility? The gentle flow of wisdom continues with the reminder of the golden rule, to treat others as one would wish to be treated. This timeless teaching is painted in soft hues of empathy and respect, creating a canvas where every act of kindness adds a stroke of brilliance to the collective picture of humanity. The narrative elaborates on this ideal, describing how each thoughtful gesture can become a ripple in the vast ocean of life. In these words, viewers are encouraged to think about the impact of their daily actions, how a smile or a helping hand can brighten someone's day. In a display of both caution and care, the The scripture then warns against false prophets and the deceptive allure of those who would lead hearts astray. The storyteller explains that not every shining light is true, urging listeners to cultivate wisdom and discernment. With vivid descriptions of shadowed figures and whispered deceptions, the verses become a call to vigilance, reminding every heart that truth is often found in quiet sincerity rather than in the clamor of empty promises. The narrative gently asks, how do we know which voices are true and which are merely echoes of doubt? The story builds toward the memorable image of two builders, one wise, one foolish. Here, the words paint a picture of sturdy foundations built on rock and fragile homes built on sand. The gentle narrative stresses that a life rooted in truth, love, and faith stands strong against the storms of life, while one based on fleeting values crumbles in the face of adversity. This timeless parable is described with vibrant clarity, evoking images of rain-soaked earth and resilient structures standing firm amid the winds. The viewers are invited to consider, on what foundation are you building your life? As the teachings shift from parables to miracles, the tone becomes one of awe and wonder in Matthew 8. The voice now recounts the compassionate power of healing, a power that reaches out to the suffering and lifts them from despair. In a tender moment, the script describes Jesus coming forward to heal a man stricken with leprosy. The words are gentle yet strong, capturing the emotion of a miracle that cleanses not just the body, but the spirit as well. The imagery is soft and radiant, a healing touch that brings warmth and a renewed smile to a once-forgotten soul. In this miracle, viewers are asked, have you ever felt the healing power of a kind word or a gentle touch? The narrative continues with the account of a Roman centurion whose servant lay gravely ill. In this encounter, faith meets authority as Jesus acknowledges the centurion's simple yet profound trust. The scene is depicted with a blend of humility and courage, as the centurion's voice resonates with hope and belief. Every word spoken in this healing is imbued with the power of trust, a trust that reaches beyond borders and defies the barriers of language and culture. The storyteller's gentle tone explains that true faith is measured not by wealth or status, but by the sincerity of the heart. This raises a question for the audience. What does it truly mean to have faith that knows no boundaries? The account of healing continues with the story of Peter's mother-in-law, whose fever is gently eased by the compassionate hand of Jesus. The verses illustrate a moment of intimate care, a simple act that brightens a home and restores a family's hope. As the story unfolds, the voice describes the quiet ripple of healing that spreads like sunlight through a window, transforming pain into peace. This moment is captured in delicate pastel colors that evoke tenderness and renewal, inviting viewers to pause and reflect on the gentle power of care in everyday life. Nature itself seems to join in the celebration of miracles as Jesus calms a raging storm upon the sea. The narrative describes the tempest as a wild, churning force, with towering waves and howling winds that seem to challenge the very essence of hope. Yet, in the midst of the chaos, a calm and resolute figure stands firm, commanding the elements with a quiet authority that silences the fury. The imagery is both dramatic and serene, a battle between nature's wild forces and a soul filled with unyielding peace. This vivid portrayal stirs the imagination. Can faith calm even the fiercest storms in our lives? As the voice moves on to recount further healings and exorcisms in Matthew 8, it captures the profound relief felt by those freed from the grip of despair and darkness. The narrative details encounters with men tormented by unseen forces, their faces emerging from shadows into the soft glow of liberation. Each healing is recounted with empathy and grace, illustrating that no matter how deep the sorrow, a spark of divine love can bring hope and renewal. In these words, viewers are gently asked, how can the light of compassion drive away the shadows in your heart? The narrative gracefully transitions to the vibrant accounts of Matthew 9, where Jesus' journey of compassion meets the everyday struggles of people from all walks of life. The story begins with a paralytic man, whose desperate friends carried him to a place of healing. In a display of unwavering faith, their actions speak louder than words, and Jesus' response is filled with both understanding and miraculous power. The script explains each detail, from the gentle touch that releases the bonds of pain to the forgiving words that echo with hope. Here, every act of healing is a vivid testament to the transformative power of faith, a beacon that inspires the weary to rise again. In this chapter, the narrative also recounts the remarkable calling of a man known as Matthew, a tax collector whose past was marked by isolation and scorn. The words explain that when Jesus called him, it was a call to redemption, a call that transformed his life from one of separation to one of belonging. The storyteller's voice is tender as it portrays the moment of transformation, where judgment was replaced by grace and loneliness gave way to the warm embrace of a new community. It is a moment that invites viewers to reflect on their own capacity for change. Can one moment of grace alter the course of an entire life? The account continues with the stirring story of a woman whose faith broke through years of suffering. In the midst of a crowd, she reaches out with trembling hands, touching the edge of a garment, believing that even the smallest act of faith can bring about healing. The narrative unfolds with rich, gentle imagery, a moment captured in soft focus, where the glow of hope meets the courage of a determined heart. Each word of this healing miracle is explained with clarity, inviting viewers to feel the deep emotional pull of a faith that transcends pain. Have you ever reached out in faith when hope seemed far away? As the voice recounts these moments, it also describes a tender and sorrowful scene, a moment when life and death hang in delicate balance. The script tells of a young girl whose life was snuffed out too soon, only to be brought back by a loving command. The description is both heart-wrenching and uplifting, a powerful reminder that death is not the end, but a doorway to new beginnings when touched by divine grace. In these stirring verses, the storyteller explains that every tear and every prayer weaves together the tapestry of life's deepest mysteries, prompting the viewer to ask, is there a power that can bring hope even in the face of loss? The narrative then guides the listener through the healing of the blind and the restoration of sight, a miracle that symbolizes the unveiling of truth. The words paint a vivid picture of darkness, gradually giving way to the bright clarity of light, where each healed eye becomes a window to the wonders of the world. This gentle unveiling is described in warm, golden hues, each ray of light a testament to the possibility of new beginnings. The audience is encouraged to reflect on the moments in their own lives when darkness was dispelled by a spark of understanding and hope. Finally, the voice turns to the stirring commissioning of the 12 apostles in Matthew 10, a moment when ordinary men are called to extraordinary service. The narrative explains that Jesus, with unwavering compassion, chooses these humble individuals to carry forth his message of love and redemption. Each apostle is portrayed as a beacon of light, set against a backdrop of both gentle landscapes and turbulent challenges. Their journey is filled with instructions that speak to the heart, to heal, to comfort, and to spread the message of truth wherever they go. This call to service is depicted as a shared journey, one where each step forward is a commitment to building a better world, a world founded on compassion, truth, and the light of divine love.